Nothing But the Words, episode number 93. Get More Eyes on Your Book, part 2.
Welcome to Nothing But the Words, the podcast that gives you everything you need to know to write a phenomenal book. Now here's your host, your author coach, Candace L. Davis.
Hey there, and welcome to Nothing But the Words. I'm your author coach, Candace L. Davis. I hope your week and your writing are both going really, really well. In last week's episode, I talked about 6 different ways you could get more eyes on your book, ways you can sell more books to readers. To quickly recap, those were to add author of, plus the title of your book, everywhere you have a bio. So on every online platform, every social media site, on your website, anywhere you have a bio, add author of and your title, even if the book is coming out a little later, because you can just put a little parenthetical there that says when the book will be coming out. The second way was to post pictures of your book in interesting or relevant or aspirational locations just to keep your book top of mind. Third was to ask readers or your family and friends to take selfies with your book and to share them. The fourth way was to pull quotes from your book, make cool graphics out of those quotes, and post them on social media. And if graphic design is not your thing, it's not my thing, you can find tons of templates on sites like Canva, canva.com, or you can just pay somebody to do it for you. You can find someone on Fiverr or a VA who specializes in social media graphics. The next way was to pitch yourself as the author expert who solves a specific problem or helps people achieve a specific goal to podcasts and media. And the last was to write for other larger platforms that can put you and your story in front of the people who are likely to want to read your book. Today, I have 6 more ways you can get more eyes on your book. So let's dive right in. Action number 1, to get more eyes on your book, share screenshots of your best reviews. This might sound a little immodest to some, but you can screenshot great reviews and share them with your audience on social media platforms. So hop over to Amazon, the most likely place, or whatever bookseller has sold your books and has allowed for reviews, and just take a screenshot of it. And if you have your own podcast, you can read some of those reviews when you're going into a new episode. And of course, part of this is expressing your gratitude for that great review, right? So you may not know, people can often post those reviews anonymously or under a handle that's not their real name, and that's fine. You can still share that review. And again, this might seem immodest to some people, but the fact is that potential readers want that social proof before they purchase anything, and that includes a book. So feel free to share what people are saying about your book. Action number 2 to get more eyes on your book is to post pictures of your gorgeous face and add a caption that includes "in my book." That might sound like it's not enough to sell your book, but you're already posting pictures of your book. Some people really like to get to know the human being behind the book. Showing your face, allowing people to make that connection, can help potential readers feel more like they know you. And people who feel like they know you are a lot more likely to buy your book. Action number 3, and this is a fun one that I don't see a lot of authors doing, so if you do it, you will stand out in the crowd, is to host and record a book group discussion. Now, lots of authors host book group discussions, so I'm not saying that that's unusual, but to record it and share it is somewhat unusual. In the best of circumstances, you won't even know the vast majority of people who read your book, right? It'll be strangers buying your book. So you won't know what results people have gotten from your book. Were they entertained as you wanted them to be? Were they enlightened or educated? But you can host a small group book discussion with people who have had a chance to read your book, and if it's relevant, a chance to apply whatever they've learned from your book, and talk to them about the book. Make sure, of course, you have their permission to record and share the discussion, and that permission should be in writing. And then join them via Zoom. And instead of doing a straight Q&A where they ask you, the author, questions, engage them in conversation about their experience with your book and their takeaways. Then you can post and share clips from that discussion. Action number 4, to get more eyes on your book, partner with another author to cross-promote your books. Now, if your books have the same or similar target readers, maybe they're not exactly the same, but there's some overlap, or they could be the exact same readers. Don't worry about cutting into each other's book sales. People who buy one book on a topic are quite likely to buy 2 books on the topic. So promote your partner's book with the same enthusiasm you want them to bring when they promote your book. You will both come out winners with this. You can have a discussion on a live social media platform and share it to both of your audiences. You can promote your books to each other's email list. You can interview each other for YouTube or LinkedIn or both, wherever your audience is. Just come up with a plan you're both committed to and really go all in for each other. Promote that person's book in the way you would promote yours for that period of time. Action number 5 is to submit your book for review. Now, in the old days, there weren't a lot of places. I'm talking about the pre-social media days. For those of you who were around for that, there weren't a lot of places to get your book reviewed. And the few book reviewers who existed often did not take submissions. Even if they did take submissions, they could be highly selective about the books that they reviewed. These days, there are many places to get your book reviewed, and you can submit your book for review by someone on BookTube, which is just the YouTube channels that focus on book reviews, or BookTok. So many books get sold on TikTok, you guys. I am not really on TikTok. And I didn't think many people my age were, but there are apparently lots and lots and lots of people who review books and talk about books on TikTok. So don't overlook a platform just because it's not the platform that you prefer to use. So you can submit your book for review by these people. You might be surprised by how much movement you can get with this. Now, yes, this means giving away free copies of your book. Consider it a part of your marketing budget. Do the research to find the book reviewers who have a decent sized platform. It doesn't have to be huge necessarily, and who reach your perfect readers and who review books in your genre. Don't submit your novel to someone who only reviews memoirs. That's just disrespectful. Take the time to choose the right reviewers and follow their submission process. Don't think just because these people are not affiliated with a large newspaper or book magazine that they don't have power and influence, because many of them do. They can help you get more eyes on your book. And action number 6 to get more eyes on your book is to get interviewed as the author expert. You may be familiar with a website or service called Haro, H-A-R-O, which stands for Help a Reporter Out. This service and others like it provide a place where reporters can connect with people who have expertise in specific areas. Getting interviewed as the expert on your subject matter and author of your book is another great way to position yourself as a go-to expert and to get more eyes on your book. You may only have one quote in an article, but if it lists you as the author of XYZ on the topic, that will still provide a way for you to get more people clicking over to look at your book. Now, in 2 episodes, I have given you 12 different ways to get more eyes on your book. Some of this you can begin to implement well before your book is published, but whichever strategies you choose, you do not have to do them all. I don't even want you to try to do them all. That's a lot. Choose a few that work for you and go hard with those strategies. Promoting your book is a long-term activity. It starts before you publish. Hopefully it starts before you publish, but even if it doesn't, keep going. You can start at any time. It may rise to a peak when you launch, right? That's like this big climactic moment of, here it is, my book is here. You've been waiting for it and it's finally here. And hopefully, though, it will go on for months and even years after that launch date in many different ways. You have control over so much of this process, so make the most of it and get more eyes on your book. Focus on the value your book creates for readers and tell people about it however you can. That's all for this week's episode, my friends. If you're ready to get started writing your book, access my free training to jumpstart your book at CandiceLDavis.com/jumpstart. I walk you through 5 simple questions that will set you up to write the right book. Thanks for listening to Nothing But the Words. I'm your author coach, Candice L. Davis, and I'll see you next time.